The fallout from a violent crime spree across 3 western counties highlights gaps in Buncombe County's pretrial services.
A News 13 investigation uncovers 2 employees have resigned in the wake of the riot in Houston's path of chaos. It has also prompted a change in county policy.
Investigative reporter Jennifer Emmert uncovers new details and why violations show Houston should have been pulled back into court, which may have prevented this from happening.
Hey, I just witnessed a car hit the medium on the highway going I-40 east.
Go ahead and start me, EMS unit, I-40 eastbound at 75, just before the 75. Rolled up on a 1050. I just rolled up on it. I got a female subject here. Male subject just took off on foot.
It's new audio from the night Ryan Houston fled. Medics found Melanie Crisp stabbed and dying in Houston's passenger seat. Houston had ditched the phone tied to his electronic monitoring before authorities say he broke into this home nearby.
Someone broke into my house. They beat my husband. He's sitting there bleeding.
A second fatal crash a day later killed Houston and former police chief Mike Boone. A week before, on July 22nd, records show the SIM card was removed from Houston's electronic monitor. It was immediately replaced, according to a pretrial service report. That incident was never reported to the courts. Houston's pretrial release coordinator, Nellie Vargas, resigned amid an SBI probe. I recently uncovered Vargas's pretrial supervisor, Renee Ray, also quit, citing personal issues, calling the Houston situation the final straw in her resignation letter. According to a 2023 UNC School of Government statewide survey, Buncombe is the only district in the West offering pretrial services.
The lack of pretrial services does not mean that the person is not going to get released, because under state law, that analysis has to be done for every single defendant who's brought into jail.
Without pretrial services, the analysis falls to judges and their clerks. Houston's case prompted an internal review, something WCU Political Science Department head Dr. Todd Collins says any county in their situation might do.
I think when we do have terrible outcomes and tragedies, that may give us a chance to look at those guardrails that we have and make sure that they are working.
In Buncombe County, several guardrails may have been bypassed. While pretrial release coordinators are not enforcers, they are required to report violations to the court. Those include no contact with pretrial services, violating rules of electronic monitoring, charges of new criminal activity, and additional conditions violated. In August of 2023, when the district attorney's office filed a motion to revoke Houston's bond, Supervisor Renee Ray, on behalf of Nellie Vargas, reported 11 violations to the judge. A violation report was also prepared following Houston's wreck, the home invasion, and Crisp stabbing, but because of a submission error, the court didn't get it until after Houston's death. But there were several issues among the 244 alerts the county received that should have been reported and were not. The first was the SIM card removal. The second, 2 pretrial violations in December and January when deputies were called out to locate Houston after he failed to answer calls following monitoring in restricted areas. And 20 low battery alerts similar to issues raised in court in August of 2023. District Attorney Ted Bell said when issues are reported, judges can take action.
And at that point, we can ask the judge to revoke their bond. When the judge revokes their bond, though, because the statute requires that they have to have a bond setting, the judge then has to turn around and immediately set another bond. It's going to be higher than the one he revoked, but most of the time, they can't be held with no bond.
Except in limited cases like murder. So who is accountable? It appears pretrial coordinators are, based on actions taken by the county. While Buncombe County ended its internal review with the resignations of 2 staff, it has implemented a change in procedures. Now, when pretrial coordinators receive a monitoring alert, they can't clear it alone. A supervisor must also review the alert or potential violation. Each district sets its own pretrial policies, and despite the issues with Houston, there can be benefits.
And there's a lot of good that can come out of it because people can keep their jobs or go take care of their families.
But when safeguards aren't observed, there may be a risk to public safety.
We're talking about humans, and humans are unpredictable. So we can have the best possible guardrails in place, and something bad can happen.
Buncombe County's District Attorney Todd Williams requested the SBI review pretrial services. The SBI tells me that investigation is ongoing.